Hi, this is Stephanie Miller from The Stephanie Miller Show. Please enjoy this exclusive clip from my show on Political Voices Network. Some of these PSA we've been playing for 19 years. Dana. Is that the quote with the Fine Brothers play?
The show's now too old for Matt Gaetz to date, so I don't know.
Hey. It's too old for Gaetz to date. That's funny. For Rapey McForehead. New York Attorney General Letitia James on Tuesday requested the state Supreme Court sanction Trump and other defendants in her civil suit against him, accusing them of frivolous conduct. The case is set to go to trial October 2nd. Ooh. In Tuesday's court filing, she's asking all defendants and their lawyers pay a total of $20,000 for using previously rejected arguments several times. Specifically, James argued that Trump used 3 arguments, including the Attorney General has no standing to bring this case against him in several motions, despite the fact those arguments already had been turned down by the court in November 2022. I keep saying this, Dana, but he's running out of all his normal trips. You know, he also lost him trying to delay that trial. He's just...
Absolutely.
Yeah.
And I think that not the justice system, because that's so screwed up in so many ways, but even some of these Trump-appointed judges are like, I'm not ruining my reputation for you. Like, We've clearly seen you're a criminal. I've seen how many people have lost their career. I'm not doing it. And then what's nice is, of course, we have the judges that know he's a piece of crap from the beginning, so it doesn't matter.
This was the Enrico Tarrio, 22-year sentence, was a Trump-appointed judge from the Federalist Society that used to work for Grassley. So, they're running out of... ways to go. These are liberals, And
I think it's wonderful that, he wasn't even there. He wasn't at the Capitol, and he still got 22 years. I saw one of the funniest tweets. They were like, how could he possibly get 22 years? He wasn't even at the crime, and I don't know who said it, but someone was like, have you ever heard of Charles Manson?
Yeah.
Thank you.
He wasn't there either.
Bin Laden, on and on down the list, right? I mean, exactly. There was a troth from the bassinet of the, One's too reach-ready for even me. Okay.
Oh, I'm sorry.
Right now, Republicans in Congress and the Senate have to get tough and put everything together in one big neat package, because I will be president in 1.5 years, and we will pick the biggest, toughest, most respected attorney general, and if guilty, we'll put them all in jail where they belong, as they've been trying to do to me based on nothing. Okay. Okay. I mean, first of all, Okay. This time they're going to dispense with facts, right? Because he tried to lock Hillary up. I mean, that's the thing people don't report on enough. That, trust me, Bill Barr would have done a lot of things if there was any evidence of anything. As it is, he prosecuted Trump's enemies and protected his friends, right?
Oh, he definitely did that. And then when things got too squirrely, he was like, I'm out. Like when Trump was like, I'm going to try and overturn the election, a fair election. Even Bill Barr was like, I'm going to go ahead and resign.
I'm going to skedaddle now. So he got in his Fred Flintstone car.
And Michigas.
Got in his Fred Flintstone's car, put a giant rack of ribs on the side, and Fred Flintstone skedaddle. Pardon me? That's Bill Barr leaving. Okay.
Like that baby, I've always said that baby dinosaur.
Not the mama. Jack Smith is still pursuing his investigation into efforts to overturn the 2020 election a month after indicting Trump for orchestrating a broad conspiracy to remain in power, a widening probe that raises the possibility others could still face legal peril. Questions asked of 2 recent witnesses indicate Smith is focusing on how much money was raised off these baseless claims of voter fraud and how it was used to fund attempts to breach voting equipment in several states won by Biden. Prosecutors have focused their questions on the role of Sidney Powell in that. According to invoices obtained by CNN, Powell's nonprofit hired forensics firms that ultimately addressed voting equipment in 4 swing states won by Biden: Georgia, Pennsylvania, Michigan, and Arizona. I swear everything they say is projection, right? Because they were the ones saying, Democrats are rigging the machines. It's like they were literally the ones breaching the voting machines, right?
Absolutely. We've seen this over and over. I mean, anything that comes out of their mouths, we're like, okay, it's probably something that they actually did. If they are going to accuse someone of a crime.
Oh, Dana's still got a choppy. Let's go to Leslie in Long Beach and hopes that their choppy goes away. Leslie in Long Beach, hello.
Okay. Hey.
Oh dear. Oh no. Go ahead, Leslie.
First of all, Dana, I've got to have that shirt.
Oh, yes, you can get it at StephanieMiller.com. Oh, yours or hers? Okay.
Yeah. It's Dana's, Janis Joplin shirt. I see it when she's on, and I want it so bad. Anyway, listen, what I wanted to say, Steph, you mentioned several times about how the media, like you just said a second ago, not properly reporting on, and then just fill in the blank. You know, besides Trump's personal and business failings, during the course of his quote-unquote presidency, they didn't report on his health well enough either. I mean, this is a man who clearly, he's not in good health. Yeah. You know, that whole person, woman, man, camera, TV thing, the media just dropped it. You know, I mean, there's a reason he was given that Montreal cognitive assessment test or whatever. You know, it takes him 2 arms to drink a glass of water. If that were Joe Biden, oh my gosh, you know how the media would be handling it.
Yeah, I mean, he can't walk down a ramp. He can't walk. There's that World Summit where he needs a golf cart to go 20 yards, like all the other leaders walked.
Yeah, when Angela Merkel walked that 700 yards, they were in Italy. She walked that 700 yards in heels.
Yeah.
You know, and the whole thing was held up because he had to be taken in a golf cart.
Yeah.
But anyway, it's just, you know, one more, you know, things that just frustrates me so much about the way the media's handled this guy. You know, there's no liberal media.
Yeah, talk about...
The handling of Trump is obvious. That's the truth.
Talk about grading on a curve, right? It's just like, I mean, I think there's a lot of like, oh, well, it's Trump. Mm-hmm. And he's so ridiculous that I mean, I just think he was normalized so long ago. Now it doesn't matter. We're just numb to it, right?
He's also made the media a crap ton of money.
Mm-hmm.
And so they're going to use this as clickbait every time they can. I mean, they want him back. They want him back. They don't want him to be obsolete. They want to be able to talk about him as often as possible. It's gross.
Yeah. We played Mike Huckabee literally saying the next election will be decided by bullets and not ballots. This, what's his name? Colton Moore, this state senator in, where is it, Georgia? Mm-hmm. A Georgia lawmaker who warned of civil war after Trump was charged in his state, now says fellow Republicans want to vote him out of the state Senate. He said Republicans must act to stop Trump's prosecution. I mean, they have just become the defense team for Trump, whether it's trying to remove Fani Willis, trying to defund the DOJ. I mean, it's insane. He said we need to be taking action right now because if we don't, our constituents are going to be fighting it out in the streets. Do you want civil war? I don't want a civil war. I don't want to have to draw my rifle, is what he said. My fellow caucus members are considering voting me out, apparently, which is absolutely ridiculous, right? He says to Steve Bannon. But I mean, I was saying it. That's the other thing that's gotten normalized, this really casual talk of civil war, right?
Well, back in the day, we all speculated that there was blackmail on people, or Lindsey Graham. It's hard to believe there's blackmail on all of these people. Like, they're just under the Kool-Aid. It's crazy.
Yeah. Yeah, I caught most of the important words in that.
You got part of it.
Yeah, I got the most important part. Speaking of things in Georgia, so this is somewhat confusing. Georgia judge reverses her decision to block gender-affirming care ban and lets it take effect. Days after blocking a gender-affirming care ban in Georgia, a judge has decided to reinstate it based on an 11th Circuit Court of Appeals decision in Alabama, allowing a similar ban to take effect. In her August decision, this judge had said that if signing into law, the youth faced imminent risks from the ban, including anxiety, depression, self-harm, and suicidal thoughts. She said at the time those risks outweighed any harm to the state from an injunction, but the federal ruling, issued just a day after her own decision, supersedes those concerns. So the 11th Circuit includes Alabama, Georgia, and Florida. The panel's ruling said Alabama can implement its ban on the use of puberty blockers and hormones to treat transgender minors, found states that have a compelling interest in protecting children from drugs, particularly those for which there is uncertainty regarding benefits, recent surges in use, and irreversible effects. Puberty blockers and hormone replacement therapy have been available in the U.S. for decades and are considered standard treatment for gender dysphoria. This is, once again, I keep saying, I do not know how they can still claim to be the small government party at all.
It blows my mind. And all of these things, all these bans are unconstitutional. That's why they're getting sued by the ACLU. That's why they're getting sued, and they're having to overturn them. But in the meantime, it's also debating someone's humanity and health on a national irreparable damage to these kids and these families, whether they're traditional or not. To use them as in this election is grotesque. And every medical board across the coast knows that medical care for trans youth is the most healthy thing for them, and the decision between those children, their parent, or not the government, period.
Boost your immunity now with Tapiro, the new high-potency, great-tasting elderberry gummies infused with zinc and vitamin C. Tapiro is available exclusively at healthpowerusa.com. Boost your immunity. Order your supply of Tapiro now at healthpowerusa.com.